In this video, we'll be taking a look at two college basketball happening on March 23, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best bet single picks, best bet parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Michigan State versus Kansas State. The Sweet 16 kicks off with a Big 10 versus Big 12 battle on Thursday evening as the number 7 Michigan State Spartans take on the number 3 Kansas State Wildcats. Both sides had impressive wins, each as +3 underdogs in the round of 32, as Michigan State knocked off Marquette 69-60 in a game where they rarely trailed for any of it. Kansas State was catching 3 as the higher-seeded number 6 Kentucky, but the Wildcats proved why they earned that better seeding late in the game, grabbing the lead with just under 3 minutes to go and never relinquishing it from there. Kansas State was catching 3 points against number 6 Kentucky and finds themselves in a similar position in the Sweet 16 as small underdogs to number 7 Michigan State. Will the Wildcats find a way for history to repeat itself and move on to the Elite 8 with 2 consecutive underdog wins as a number 3 seed? The Spartans managed a 19-11 record across the regular season. Michigan State went 3-1 to close out the year, but then lost to Ohio State in the first game of the Big 10 tournament. The Spartans logged a 72-62 win over USC in their first NCAA tournament matchup. In Sunday's tournament game versus Marquette, the Spartans held a 33-28 edge in the locker room. Michigan State posted a 36-32 run from there and won at 69-60. Tyson Walker was the team's top scorer with 23 points, and Joey Hauser doubled on 14 points and 10 rebounds. Over on the Kansas State side, they got through the regular season at 23-8 overall. The Wildcats didn't have any luck in the Big 12 tournament, however, falling 80-67 to TCU in their first game. Kansas State bounced back with a 77-65 win over Montana State in the first round of the national tournament. In second-round NCAA tournament action on Sunday, the Wildcats were up 29-26 going into the second half. Kansas State hit a 46-43 run from there and took the victory 75-69. Marquise Noel led the team on 27 points with 9 assists in the win. Michigan State is 30-13 against the spread in their last 44 Thursday games and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games following a win. The under is 4-0 in Michigan State's last 4 neutral site games. Kansas State is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games following an against the spread win and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games. The over is 4-1 in Kansas State's last 5 games. The Spartans of Michigan State went just 7-7 straight up in the final 14 games of the regular season, then laid an egg against a terrible Ohio State team in the first game of the Big 10 tournament. But never count out legendary head coach Tom Izzo as he figured it out ahead of the first round game against USC. He had his team rolling, winning 72-62 against the future Big 10 conference rival. Heading into the second round, there's no way Michigan State could take down the 2-seed Marquette Golden Eagles, right? Marquette spent time in the top 10 in the Associated Press top 25 and coaches poll rankings, but that didn't matter. Joey Hauser got revenge on his former school, posting a double-double with 14 points and 10 boards, while Tyson Walker dropped a game-high 23 points. Suddenly, Michigan State is flying and has a ton of confidence heading into the Sweet 16. However, the Wildcats of Kansas State are playing pretty good basketball themselves. Head coach Jerome Tang is quickly making a name for himself in his first foray into the NCAA tournament. K-State also lost its first game in the Big 12 tournament, but Tang helped get his team back on track. It eased by Montana State from the Big Sky Conference in the first round, winning 77-65 to cover a 7-point number, and it shook off a pesky Kentucky team as a 3-point underdog to win 75-69. In the postseason, Marquise Noel has stepped up his play, averaging 18 points per game with 9.3 assists per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, and a 48.7% field goal percentage, and he has 3 other teammates averaging double figures in points, too. This is a team that comes at you fast, and numerous players can step up. It's likely going to be a close game, but I'll take Kansas State as they've been more consistent over the long haul. So the Kansas State Wildcats to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Michigan State is only 303rd in adjusted tempo, but the Wildcats are 41st in adjusted tempo. Together, these two teams will balance each other out, leading to a decently paced game, although not a track meet. Either way, both of these teams can run and gun or execute in their half-court offense. Also, expect to see a lot of points coming from the line, with the Spartans 29th knocking down 76.4% of their free throws and the Wildcats 58th making 74.9% from the line. I see this game reaching 140 at least. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Arkansas versus Connecticut. Thursday night kicks off the start of the Sweet 16 in what is one of the best weekends of the college basketball season. In the West region, the 8th-seeded Arkansas Razorbacks will square off against the 4th-seeded UConn Huskies for the right to play in the West region final on Saturday in Las Vegas. Arkansas comes in after upending top seed Kansas this past weekend. UConn reached the Sweet 16 following a resounding win over 5th-seeded St. Mary's. Eric Musselman and his Arkansas Razorbacks are looking to make their third straight trip to the Elite Eight after taking down the number 1-seeded Kansas Jayhawks over the weekend in a thriller. Before a potential trip back to the Elite Eight, they have their hands full in a Sweet 16 matchup with Dan Hurley and his UConn Huskies in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Huskies enter off the heels of an impressive victory over St. Mary's in which they outscored the Gales 39-25 in the second half after only leading by 1 point at the half. Arkansas finds themselves as 3.5-point underdogs in what should be an exciting game. Let's take a closer look at this contest and who has the edge. After knocking off a number 1 seed in the tournament for the second consecutive year, Eric Musselman stated, "That's as great of a win as I've ever been a part of, and he's not wrong. It's been an up and down year for the Razorbacks, and after 4 straight losses in mid-January, there were some doubts as to whether or not they'd even make the tournament. They've gotten healthy and hot at the right time, but even after an impressive win over Kansas, I think the Huskies pose a major threat to the Razorbacks' Elite Eight hopes. UConn is possibly the most underrated team in the field, and many may forget they were ranked number 2 in the country after a 14-0 start. They cooled off a bit towards the middle of their season but have found their footing once again, winning 11 of their previous 13 games. They rank 3rd in adjusted offensive efficiency and have the X factor with Adama Sanogo. Sanogo is averaging 26 points through the first 2 games of the tournament and can give any team nightmares. The Arkansas Razorbacks deserve credit as they're a physical, feisty team that's a tough out and is sure to apply pressure on the Huskies guards and make things difficult. You can't overlook Arkansas anymore after taking it to Kansas over the weekend. With that said, I still believe UConn is the more talented team, and its inside-outside game isn't something I'm stepping in front of right now. The UConn Huskies are clicking offensively, and there are a lot of options on this team that have to be riding high on confidence. At one point, I said UConn was the best team in the country, and through 2 games, it's making a case for being in that conversation again. While Arkansas has some elite guard play from Ricky Council IV and Nick Smith Jr., I don't think they can size up with UConn in this matchup. So the UConn Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. I was extremely impressed with the UConn Huskies in the second half of their game with St. Mary's in the round of 32, especially on the offensive end. The Huskies shot an impressive 45.5% from downtown, while Sanogo went 1 for 1-6 from the field. This type of efficient, inside-outside attack is going to be extremely difficult to contain, and I think Arkansas is going to be tested. Luckily for Arkansas, they have the guard play to shoot themselves right back into any ball game. Council IV had a spectacular game against Kansas as he went for 21 points, and I highly doubt Smith Jr. puts up another goose egg like he did in his 16 minutes against the Jayhawks. I think we get a physical game between these teams, but scoring will not be an issue with the amount of playmakers on each side. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.